Welcome, you fine ladies and gentlemen, to Updata number 6. Coming at you live from the other side of Caleb's bathroom.
Yeah.
Because this is the best we got.
It's the best we got, fellas.
Hope it sounds better. It's a little bit more confined now. Not a big open room.
It's very, someone with claustrophobia's nightmare.
Hey, I'm pretty freaked out right now.
Yep.
This week has been a busy one. It has not been particularly fun, but we're here to bring you the latest and great. Well, actually, not the latest. Probably not the greatest. We're just going to talk about some stuff that irks us.
Some mediocre shit.
Stuff that kind of like bugs us deep down. We'll try and end it off with a little bit of a high note, but we'll see where it goes. So, Caleb over here, he's been telling me a bit about this show called Stranger Things.
Yes. Their second season is coming out soon.
I've heard from my work, actually.
You heard good things, probably.
No, I don't know about good things. They just said, Stranger Things Season 2 coming out, so I guess
there's a lot of hype around it, for sure.
I've heard a lot about it, but I don't really know the premise of it.
Alright, so I'm going to tell you
if you
straight
could
up.
explain what?
I'm
up.
I'm going to tell you straight up.
But what about the...
Alright, I'll get into because I've seen the first season, and it was good to watch. It was entertaining.
It kept you interested?
Yeah. It's got that vibe to it, like an old 90s, 80s type movie. If you've ever seen like the Monster Squad, have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of got that vibe to it, and it's. I swear to God, they stole it from a video game.
But what? Well, first tell me what what's going on?
Yeah. So there's this girl that breaks out of this military thing. It's like hidden Area 51 type stuff. Yeah. So a girl breaks out, and she through like this rift she's connected to, she's able to has telekinesis powers. But it's a rift into the other realm, and she's connected somehow.
Yeah, okay.
And so they experiment on her, and that's pretty much the premise of it. And there's these 4 other boys that find her and are like just going through.
And what, they take care of her or something? Or she jumps around, or is running away from them?
She's running away from these government guys that are after her.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So she's hiding out with these boys?
Yeah. She hides in their basement and stuff, and some of them are like, well, we don't fucking like her, and she was like, well, she's just fine. She's fine. She can sit down here in my basement, and she's fine. My mom will never know. She's
my new girlfriend.
Pretty much.
That's how you do it. Well, so that seems pretty interesting, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Go on wacky adventures.
Yeah.
She bends spoons for them, and they give her a place to stay.
Yeah.
A good little...
Yeah. And, by the way, their friend disappeared. Their friend was, kidnapped or something.
So, out of the 4, one of them was captured? Or
yeah.
There was a 5th one?
He got stuck in the rift. Everyone thinks he's just disappeared, but he went into the rift... or got captured. It's kind of like the Slenderman kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Who comes out of the rift, takes them, and then...
Wait, so there was a 5th one? Or it's out of the 4?
It's out of the 4.
Okay. So now there's 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, if you were to eliminate 4 boys from the story, it would be the exact plot of a video game called Beyond.
2 Souls.
Yeah.
Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah.
See, okay, we had this conversation earlier And I was wondering how it was like that because you said there was 4 guys and stuff. But when you talked about the beginning, I was like, okay, that's very similar.
Yeah.
I'm wondering. I'm gonna look some stuff up, but you go on ahead.
And this video game is like, it's like a more of a visual.
It's a narrative.
Yeah.
A cinematic video game type deal.
Yeah, and William Dafoe's in it, and some other actress, and she basically the same thing. She got a shaved head or something, and you start as her like really young, and they're doing experiments on you, and you're just kind of watching the story, and you know, I played that game. I enjoyed it the first time I saw it. And then I watched the Stranger Things, and I enjoyed it the second time I watched it.
Yeah.
So, off the back, I'm thinking, this is the fucking game. You see, most people wouldn't catch it. But it's the exact, like, replica.
Well,
same plot.
Beyond didn't get too high scores.
Yeah.
It was sort of like passed over, really.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, no, it doesn't keep you from enjoying it. I'm just saying, most people probably looked at the game and like, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll pay something else, but...
If you have... How much? It's probably like half the price of the usual game,
It's
right?
probably like $2, honestly.
Really?
It's a PS3 game, so... It can't be that much.
That's kind of harsh.
Well, it didn't get good scores either.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they'll have it in some kind of bundle.
Anyway.
Anyways, if you got money to blow, go buy this game if you're really curious, and play it, and tell me if it's not exactly the fucking same plot.
Wait, it's on PlayStation 4.
Yeah, it's on PlayStation 4.
I didn't know that. Well, yeah, get it on PlayStation 4.
Get it on PlayStation 4.
Try
Try and enjoy it. Just know that this came before Stranger Things, so don't be thinking, hey, they stole that thing from Stranger Things.
Yeah, that is kind of weird, how it's oddly similar.
It's not. It's like the exact same thing.
Well, is the beginning the exact same, and then it kind of branches off into its own thing?
No. Same plot.
Because, like, I know there's a scene in here where, like, she's not really interrogated, I guess, but by, you know, that police officer. It's kind of like, it's not like a famous scene, but
yeah,
it's one that's showcased, I think, a lot.
I'm kind of foggy about, like, yeah, because
where
like
she's talking to the police guy in the middle of the woods, and then something happens.
Same.
Really?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, yeah.
It's just this time she has more friends.
Yeah. Like, they all have interactions. There's this cop trying to find out who this girl is, and she storms into this restaurant. This guy feeds her, and he's like, is everything okay? We need to find your parents. And then the agents come in, and they shoot that guy in the head, and they're like, this needs to be contained, and all that secret agent bullshit.
So how's the monster, I guess?
It's like Slenderman.
Is that all it is?
Yeah, pretty much.
Just...
Except its head opens into a mouth.
Oh, wait, so it's a thing? It's an actual thing?
What do you mean?
Like, you can see it?
Yeah.
Because I don't remember you could see it in this. You just played as this
embodied
thing.
Yeah, you can see it in there.
Really?
It's like yeah.
It's like at the end?
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Beyond game, there is this figure, evil figure, and you can't see it. It's like a ghost.
You play sort of 2 characters.
Yeah, and you're, like, sensitive to that side. So, but in Stranger Things, all they changed, besides the 4 other guys, is that you could see this monster.
Oh. That's weird.
And it basically it's stuck in that realm and wants to get out, but it has that boy. So they're trying to get into that realm, and he's trying to get out.
Wow, that's kind of weird.
Yep.
It's interesting, though. I might give it a little watch, a little look-see. Check it out. get angry about it. But I mean, they're gonna have a second season, so I mean, I feel like at that point,
well, what it looked like is they're coming up with a new plot, and it's
now sort of.
Yeah. It's kind of got, like, when I say 90s movie, it's kind of got, like, a Stephen King kind of feel to it. Or the Goosebumps series.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of looked like it.
Yeah.
From what I saw. So I'll be checking that out. I just wonder... Isn't that plotline sort of a cliche, though? Like, you have a girl... like a little girl or something in a military base trying to figure out her psychic powers or something, or like enhance them or create them.
I've never seen that anywhere else.
I feel like that's like a really big thing. There was that one horror movie. It was like
Carrie?
Was it Carrie?
I don't know. She has telekinesis. She fucked up her...
Like Carrie?
Yeah.
Like that?
No, it's CARR, I think. I don't know. I dropped out of school.
Oh, I don't remember this.
Well, they redid it. That movie with that one actress.
Yeah, I don't see it. Anyway. Because I know there was one where it was kind of like that. It looked like it wasn't that, scary. Like, from the trailers, it didn't look like it was scary. It was just like, oh, it's just this thing. It's like a thriller or something.
Yeah.
But then it turned into like a horror. So I'm wondering what that was. Morgan, maybe? Either way, I don't know. I just remember it was something about her like controlling the people inside, and they like killed each other. So
I don't know. Never seen it.
Oh wow, it is a thing. Morgan. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's that. That's crazy. Okay. A bioengineered child who began walking and talking after 1 month of existence.
When did it come out? 2016?
It's not that long ago. It didn't get good scores, though. But yeah, she's in a remote facility or something, and she's like telling the guards she tells like all the people that are like guarding her or something to kill themselves. She's just
dark.
I mean so there you go. There's a plot.
It's turning into a little cliche, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So I'm curious to see
how many more copy it.
Not really. I mean, I'm assuming that a lot of people will do that.
Yeah.
There's a problem with cliches in film. There's just too much of it. I know this is kind of like an old movie, but I watched Final Destination, the first one. You remember that movie?
Yeah.
And
I was actually a fan of those movies.
I forget.
Because they're not really like... It's more like death is out to get them than some kind of scary-ass figure.
Well, in the first... It's just... Okay, I can get that. That's cool and all. Accidental death. Like, making it look like it's an accidental death. Fine. Well, like, the first death in the movie, this kid is, like, in the bathroom, and he's, like, turning all the electric shit on like a dumbass while he has the water running. Sometime, and then, like, they'll have this sort of weird dynamic where it almost kills him, but the kid goes somewhere else. But anyway, so he... like some fluid starts leaking from the toilet or the sink and it gets on the floor, and he has this like clothesline up on the bathtub.
Yeah.
So obviously he slips in it, trips, it wraps around his neck and strangles him to death. Now that I'm like, all right, cool. Or it's like it's aftershave, I think, that falls on the floor. Anyway, and then the gel stuff just goes back. And it's like, okay, now it's not believable. Because this is just now it really is an external force that's just acting on it. If they would have left that in, I would have been like, alright, that's freaky.
So it just kind of like slithered away? Like...
Yeah. Well, because if you like do that, it's like accidental death.
Okay,
yeah,
that's real. On the shaving cream.
Real. But then you took it away and it's like, okay.
Okay, how did this guy get here?
Yeah, exactly. And then everyone was like, oh... main character pushed him to kill himself, and it was just like, okay, whatever.
I got a story. All right. So,
Whoa, wait, hold on.
All right.
Because there's, like, in terms of cliches, I'll let you do it, but there was a love subplot in the movie, except it completely came out of nowhere. One of the survivors, who didn't really talk to the main character much before they, like, started this whole survival group or whatever, they started talking, they started getting together, and before all this stuff happened, before they really got together, it was just like they're friends. They're like close friends. They're just strategizing about, like, what to do about this thing. And then, like, the train scene comes in, like, one guy gets his head chopped in half, and he's on the ground because he was, like, trying to help a dude get out. And the girl goes over to him and says, "Are you okay, baby?" It's just like, what? What? When did you guys get together? Because there was nothing before that like indicated they were progressing to a relationship.
Like, hey, I've always loved you.
Yeah, no, it was really like that. And then it's like when in the movie after that point, they were always like, "I love you so much. We got to make it through this shit like that." And I was just like,
we've come this far.
Yes. And I was like, how?
What the fuck happened?
Did they cut out a scene?
Something?
Like, it was just stuff like that. That really annoys me.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, go ahead, man.
So I don't know if you've seen it. They kind of like rebooted it after a while.
Mm-hmm.
I think they came out with a third one, and then they rebooted it.
I haven't seen any of the, like... I know I've seen not a recent one, but one of the newer ones.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure which one that would be.
So, it's the one... It's like it turns out to be a prequel to the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And what they did there was really dope. Because it was kind of a twist, like, thing. You didn't expect it.
Hmm.
And, so, there's this one part in that film where I was watching it with my friend, Brian, and he is, like, the most critical of, like, any film he's going into. So, it's just funny, it's funny to hear him doing this. So, there's this one scene where she's, doing gymnastics at this school or whatever. And so there's this thing coming out of the ceiling, like slowly, like a little screw.
Yeah.
And like the whole time you're thinking, okay, she's gonna, and it lands on the little balance bar they have.
So she's gonna, like, stab her foot?
Yeah, she's gonna stab her foot and, like, crack her neck or something like that. Well, she gets on the different thing, like the one where they, what do you call it? Where they spin around.
Spin?
Yeah, like they, I don't know. She's.
Oh, like it's like hanging?
Yeah. She's hanging from this. I
don't know what they're called. They're like rings, though, that you hold on to. Right?
No, it's not the ring.
Not
it's just the pole. You're doing the same thing.
Well, I don't know what that is.
I don't know. I'm not a gymnastics expert.
Well, I'm not.
So she gets on that thing and she's spinning around. So this girl behind her who got on the balance beam, like, steps on that screw.
Oh, shit.
Like you thought she was going to. Knocks over this huge powder thing that they put on their hands before they grab something. And it goes in the air and she can't see while she's spinning. And she darts into the floor, breaks her whole spine, and her fucking eyes are popping out. And it's like, oh my god. And my friend Brian just goes, "Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! I did not see that coming." I never laughed so hard.
They put way too much effort into accidental deaths.
And that's
freak accidents, I guess.
That movie was probably good. I don't know. The third one made me scared of roller coasters.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never seen.
The third one, it's based on a roller coaster. That's how they all die in the beginning.
That's like their big premonition before they save themselves or something?
Yeah, everybody dies on a roller coaster. That one's weird, though. Like, instead of, like, everything being accidental, they kind of, like, death kind of pits one of them against the other, and it makes them into a psycho killer.
No, see, I can't. It's just like,
yeah,
okay.
It's not a good one. It's not a good one.
That doesn't.
But it did make me fucking scared of roller coasters.
Yeah, it didn't take much for that to happen because that stuff is real, too real.
There's just like so
feel
much
like
that can go wrong in something like that.
Those movies actually made me afraid of like everything. they had or at least one of the recent ones did, and it was just like I can't go out anywhere. Gotta wear bubble wrap around myself. Because I know in one of the movies, one of the characters went into like a mental institution and got one of those big plush rooms where there's like nothing in it.
Yeah.
And they just stayed in there, and they were one of the survivors. And they're like, I'm safe here.
Yeah.
And then like she got out because the characters, like the main cast, convinced her that they needed her help or something.
Yeah.
So she was like, okay, I gotta go help them. So she walks out and she dies. So it's just like, Not to mention, one of the dumbest deaths I think I've ever seen in this whole entire, like, the first film.
Franchise, yeah.
Was the death by a bus. Because if you can't see a bus barreling down a road as you walk into the street,
isn't that like
you're
the
an
end like of one?
That's at the end of the first one, but it's also like it's like the third death of the first one as well.
In the first rebooted series, they're like he would see little premonitions to like hint him towards like what's gonna happen next.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think all of them do that, but
yeah.
Like it was like a snake wrapped around a pike, and so out of nowhere this black guy is just like walking with him, and then all of a sudden an ambulance fucking plows him over, and then there's the snake on the symbol of the
I just think it's so stupid.
There was like not enough warning there to help anything.
No.
Like if I saw that, I'd be like, okay, we need to stay away from snakes. I wouldn't be fucking thinking ambulances.
I just think like if you get death by a car that's going that fast, I feel like you either have to see it or you deserve to die. Right? I mean, an ambulance, you should see that shit. They're pretty well marked, I think.
God, wouldn't it be something if you died by a car?
Me?
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
I don't know. I'm just saying. You're going so hard on these people that have died by cars.
Okay, but listen. Ambulance, they're pretty well marked. It's a white car with red stripes on
sirens
it. And like you know what an ambulance is when you see it. A bus is huge. How do you miss a bus? Especially one that's flying down a street.
I feel like in every one of these movies they forgot the golden rule, like look both ways.
Well, the girl was like walking backwards as she was shit talking her boyfriend. And then the bus just came and killed her. Splattered her all across the road. It's just like you have to hear that. Even if you're like talking and stuff.
Yeah.
And plus, who's just going to be walking backwards out the middle of a street?
Someone who's in a fight with his boyfriend.
Well, okay, they just need to work better. It's just stupid. Story by Jeffrey Riddick. Work harder.
So, what do you got for us, Chase?
Yeah. I got some beef with Assassin's Creed.
I haven't
It's
out
like
with them already.
It's like an abusive relationship. I want to go back, but I know I shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of deal. Mostly because it's just.
I'm sorry. Do they have microtransactions in this next one?
Well, they've had microtransactions since Unity.
Yeah, that's right. My bad.
Technically 4, but not like Unity.
Yeah. Okay, continue.
It's just. So Origins is coming out, basically showcasing the beginning of Assassin's Creed, and It's based in Egypt, and it looks really good. The world looks really good. The graphics look really good. Story seems like it's going to be pretty good. But my main thing, I haven't seen anything about parkour though. I should mention that. I haven't seen anything about that. But something I look forward to in every installment is the combat and just how they're going to do it. And man, it just doesn't look... It does not look good at all. It doesn't look indicative of Assassin's Creed. And one thing I want to preface this by saying, I don't want to sound like the old fart that's like...
Back in my day.
I don't like change or anything like that. I'm fine with it. And if this is what keeps the series going, then by all means go with it. But I just can't get behind it. It just looks so stunted, I guess. Stiff. Like, it looks like a bad mobile game.
Mm-hmm.
With how finicky the characters work with each other. A big thing in like all the games was like, and the dude explained it in the combat video. They had paired animations in terms of fighting. So each, like the enemy character, when you attacked an enemy character, it would interact with each other.
Yeah.
Like the models and the animations would interact with each other. And they had the system for all the games up till Syndicate, and now they're changing it in Origins. And now with Origins, they have a hitbox system, and it doesn't look as good because with this hitbox, it's not, because in the previous ones it was more sort of a Arkham light sort of combat. It wasn't like Batman Arkham combat at all.
Yeah.
But at least, when you like pointed your stick in the direction of an enemy, your character would go to that enemy.
Yeah.
Even if you were like a little bit off. Now it's like, you better make sure you point it at the right enemy or you're going to miss. And it's just, it's not about the player or the models interacting with each other. It's more about the player interacting with the enemy's health bar.
Yeah, it's levels now, right?
Well, and that's another thing. They've had levels since Unity. Unity was a little bit like light on that.
It didn't matter that much.
It was, well, it kind of did, because they would do more damage. But I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It was like five like levels or sort of 5 stars, sort of ranking process, and then in Syndicate they kind of brought it up a little bit with levels.
I hated it. Right then I hated it.
But it wasn't as like that. It wasn't terrible, in my opinion. And then now in Origins, it's more, this is an RPG. It's not so much, like, if you took Origins and compared it to the first game, they're like completely different.
Mm-hmm.
It's like almost
not even the same.
It's not even the same game anymore, which isn't a bad thing. Again, so this is
kind of a bad thing.
Well, okay, but this is a series that's been releasing annually.
Yeah.
Back since 2007. That's pretty big.
What they should have done is just space out the games more.
They should have.
Everyone would have hated that because they were such a fan, but now no one's. Well, I don't want to say no one, but it's not as big as it was.
Well, and the reason why it's not as big as it was, you're right, because they didn't space it out. People got burnt out.
Yeah.
Off the series because they just kept doing it. It wasn't sort of like it wasn't a Shadow of Mordor to War type deal, where we haven't had one in like 4 years, and this next one is just like, oh man, I can't wait to get my next fixed of this new thing. Where Assassin's Creed is like, oh, the next one, I'll just see if that one's any better.
Yeah.
It's sort of like football games or Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Because all of those games have like dropped down.
Yeah.
Sort of hype. So now,
it's like they sold out.
What do you mean?
They sold out because they release a new game every year to make more money. and then that got played out. So now they're trying to change it up to sell more.
Yeah.
So they're completely different than what they used to be. And that's selling out. Like, you're not sticking loyal to what it was just so you can make the most money you can.
But that's the whole point. To make money.
Well, yeah, I get that.
Ubisoft is a big company. But not to discredit the team that's working on it, because...
I discredit them.
the guy is really passionate about revitalizing the series. Because after a while, things were getting stale, and after Unity flopped, things got really bad for the series. And it could have been, after Syndicate, could have been the last we've ever saw of it. Because Syndicate sales dropped a lot. But now they're gonna get, they have a lot more expected sales for Origins. Which, happy, hope it sells well. You know. So, and it's just, here's my biggest complaint, is that it looks, not to say like brutish, I guess, but the combat just looks heavy, really heavy, and
it's not fluent.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't flow as well. When I envision an assassin, I think he dances with his opponent.
Yeah.
He knows how to move around and attack. He knows how to get to their weak spots and cut them up, and it's played off of that. This looks more like
he's coming in like a fucking brute,
like a tank, and he's just like, "Come on and hit me, I got you." And it's just like, and not only that, but it doesn't seem as badass, I guess.
No, not at all. It's,
you know what I mean?
There's already games like that.
Yeah.
We don't need another one.
Yeah.
Stick to what you're good at and stick to what you know.
I don't know, man. I'm glad that they're moving in a different direction. It's just, I'm definitely, I can't buy this game. I really can't.
It'll ruin it.
No. For me, it would ruin it.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of people in the comment section saying that you either hate the combat because you don't want things to change, or you hate Assassin's Creed because it's just shitty arguments and stuff. People generalizing, like they were saying I wasn't allowed to like hate the combat without being one or two parties that hate the game in general, and it's just like I can't agree with this combat, because what do you feel had the best combat in the series?
I'd say
it had a really strange progression.
Yeah. So it's hard to say.
'Cause I don't know if you played 1, but in 1 it was bare bones minimum. It was like if you ever played 2, it was even more basic than that.
Mm-hmm.
Then 2 came along, it was a little bit more refined. And then Brotherhood, where if you killed somebody, you sort of set off a chain where you could just start killing everybody as long as you didn't get hit. They sort of continued that in Revelations. Made sense. And then 3 sort of brought along it was like a cutscene specific kill animation sort of style.
And plus it was more like, guerrilla warfare.
I thought 3 was badass.
Yeah.
3, in my opinion, had the best combat.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I like the other stories more, but
I like the combat and the suit, the uniform.
Yeah.
In Assassin's Creed 3, but probably the character and the story were a little lacking. And then 4 came along. Their combat was a little bit similar to Revelation style.
Yeah.
But more indicative of 3. But no, not any of the cutscenes or anything. And then Unity came. I played Unity a little recently just to sort of see what it was like. was a little wonky. It sort of had that. It was a semi attack the health bar, attack the enemy sort of style, and I didn't like it quite as much as I thought I did. Still kind of cool. I love the customization in that game though, and the parkour. And then Syndicate, I didn't like Syndicate's combat at all.
Dude,
that was just like Syndicate's combat was like throwing out punches like Goku.
Fucking trash.
It was just so weird.
And you know, something interesting was it's that like someone who would never, one of my friends, someone who would never like play that type of game that we're used to, saw Syndicate and said, you know, that looks badass. I want to try out that. And I was just thinking like, okay, so they are appealing to a certain new crowd.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Well, that's the thing. They need to bring in more new, fresh people.
Yeah.
I think to sort of revitalize, and that's sort of what a lot of people were saying. But
I feel like I don't know. I just don't like the way it went. I don't like the way things are going with Assassin's Creed.
Well, they also brought back the cutscene kill animations in Syndicate. Or like, but it was so weird how you had to do it. It seemed way too like you had to plan it.
Yeah.
And it seemed more like it wasn't worth the trouble to try and do it because you had to like daze the enemy and make sure they didn't die, and then daze like 2 or 3 more along with that one. And you could get up to like a 1 kill animation or 2 or 3 or 4 kill animation.
And the whole way through that game, I don't think I ever felt like I was progressing towards something. Because my headquarters was always moving around. The fucking train they had.
Mm-hmm.
And I was never it was kind of like I was just there on covert ops. It wasn't like you were taking over territories.
Yeah.
You had gangs. Once you took over a territory, they kind of moved in. But they weren't yours. They just kind of helped you when you passed by them.
Yeah.
And that's not, you're not building towards anything there.
No.
That's what bugs the shit out of me. Is that they had that aspect in the, you know, Brotherhood.
Oh,
they started
yeah,
it there.
yeah.
And then
that's your biggest pet peeve.
Dude.
That's what Brotherhood is. What got you started on recruiting?
I think so.
It was so ridiculous because you were just like, we need to have a game that's recruiting. And that's it. And I would like show you a game and you're like, does it have recruiting? I was like, no. And you said, oh well, it sucks. Then. It's like, okay, well, thanks, Caleb.
Yeah, it was like my first taste of crack. I was all over that shit afterwards.
I think, to be honest, Brotherhood did it the best. And
Yeah.
Revelations, they kind of, it wasn't really the same.
But it was, though. Like, it was a different vibe to it.
It was the same, but it wasn't, it just didn't click with me like Brotherhood did.
They added a whole bunch of extra shit that I think
they had this the tower defense sort of mode. Where you had
that
to,
was cool. I liked that.
But I never had that happen to me.
What?
In the entire game, none of that came up.
Really?
I only had to do it once, but that was because it was a tutorial.
They glitched you out of it?
I don't think it glitched me out of it, but it just never happened again.
Like there was always a chance it could happen, and
There's
just
a
you
chance
got lucky.
that it can happen, but I never got it after the tutorial. So I was just like, this is a cool mechanic, but I never experienced it.
Yeah.
And then they didn't have it in 3 at all. And then they had it in 4, but it was a lot less. It was more like you capture a boat and then you send that boat out to do its thing. And it was like, okay. And then they got rid of it in Unity.
Yeah.
And Syndicate. Is it right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah.
I feel like they kind of replaced that mechanic.
Go on. I'm sorry if I made a noise.
I'm done. I feel like they sort of replaced the recruitment mechanic with the co-op. That was sort of what they were doing.
Yeah.
Because they did co-op and clubs,
mm-hmm.
which is like a sort of clan type deal. I kind of do like that idea of recruiting though. That we never really got. You know what would be good?
What?
Shadow of War style Assassin's Creed. But more in terms of like the recruiting, where like your recruits have,
And works up their ranks also.
where they have their like
That would make sense.
like they're their own personalities toward it.
Yeah.
Let's just make an Assassin's Creed.
Dude, WB needs to get on some assassin shit.
Warner Brothers, we're calling you. Just no, but for real, the thing is like, I want to see the Nemesis system in other things. People were talking about wanting to see it in a Batman game.
I don't understand how that would work.
I don't either, but I feel like if it was sort of in that universe where it's like criminals, like stuff.
Yeah.
You like have a custom character or something.
But
I
could see
I don't
that.
know. Because,
If it's like in a Batman universe and they do that, I could see that.
some were saying Star Wars as well, but I don't know how that would work.
No.
I feel like that one.
There's a certain thing you got to keep it to.
Some people were doing talking about like criminal gangs.
Criminal gangs.
Like mobsters, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like you try and work your way up the ladder, or you're like
that would be dope.
Or you're like trying to like make your own gang, and you're trying to
that's like
stuff like that. I think that.
Where were they saying that?
On the Reddit for Shadow of War.
Really?
That's a website for it, not for it, but it has like a sub forum type of deal.
Yeah.
Specifically for Shadow of War. And so that's where they were talking about it, wanting to see it in different stuff. I feel like Assassin's Creed could benefit a lot from it, but I don't think I'll ever see it.
The competition and shit.
At this point, I don't think so. Especially with the way they're going.
Maybe if it fucking falls down and WB picks it up and says, I got just the thing for you, homie.
Here, take this little crack I got. Just start pumping it into their veins. They got on life support with heroin. I don't know, man. Also, what you pick up, like, you know how weapons, you usually, like, okay, so you have this store that you go to, like a weapons store. And it was sort of a natural progression because each weapon that was considered the best was top dollar that you could afford. So you'd buy the highest thing that you could get. That'd be your best weapon, and everything below that would be like, forget it, you know.
Yeah.
And now they have a now it's an RPG system, like where you pick up loot and stuff, and it's possible for one piece of gear to be better than the other. And I feel like Assassin's Creed does benefit a lot from that because they sort of did it in Unity with all the like gear stuff that they had.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I feel about it. It seems a little too... It seems like it's gone way too RPG, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sad at this point. I was like, Origin... The first time they announced Origins, I was like, day one gonna get it. And now it's like, I can't really justify...
I need to look into
$60
Frostpunk. See if they have a release date for that yet.
I don't think they've released that yet. I think they're still working on it.
That one is something I'm excited about.
You're gonna get it?
Probably.
You think your computer can handle it?
Now that you say that, no.
I didn't think so.
I need a gaming computer.
I'll help you build one.
That's right. How much does that cost to build it?
You can get some for like $500 if you know where to get the parts.
Really?
But it won't be like the best, but it'll be like
good enough to.
Good enough to run whatever you need.
Yeah.
Probably not latest games.
Really?
Like AAA. AAA games.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't get AAA.
Yeah.
I usually get it in.
I feel like console. You'd be better on getting it on console. And stuff like that. But oh man, in terms of talking about that, that's actually really good because I was thinking about this on the ride over here. I know this is kind of late, but the iPhone X is $1,000.
I'm not gonna spend that much for a phone.
And I feel like my computer was $500 or less than that. It was like $450. And it's like
you built it or you bought?
Oh no, this one that I have with me.
You bought that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then well, my regular PC, my gaming PC, is $500 more than that. $500 more than a phone.
Oh my god! I just thinking about that's kind of.
It's kind of puts it into perspective.
Mind bending.
Right? When I thought about that, I was like, wait a minute. iPhone X is $1,000. My computer was $1,500. Why is it? I just feel like Apple has
There's so much more you can do with a computer.
The audacity.
Like games and movie making.
Well, and their laptops are like base is $1,200. They still have this MacBook Air for $1,000 though. And it's just like I can get pretty much the same thing for $500 less.
If I had to choose between getting a computer for $1,000 and getting a phone for $1,000,
oh my god, you could get a pretty like a really good gaming PC for
$1,000.
Plus, not even that. Once you build a PC, you can swap out the parts, provided that your motherboard can handle it.
Yeah.
But so once you save up enough, you can easily upgrade it because you installed it. You know how
to install other things too.
And unplug it, and I mean, and that's just like you can't do that with a Mac.
Yeah.
Like period. You can't do that with a laptop.
Yeah.
But like an iMac or a Mac, what is it called? Mac Pro, I think.
Yeah.
The little circular thing. You can't do anything with that. That's always going to be that, and it's going to be obsolete in a few years.
Really?
Well, that's the problem with all of Apple's products. They're all going to be obsolete. I guess the same could be true of like any phone or laptop.
Yeah.
No. But in terms of desktops, your money's better spent on PC than it is in Apple. So.
Interesting.
The audacity, dude.
The audacity from these fuckholes pisses me off.
That they can put a phone for $1,000.
Fucking Ashraf.
But there's people that are gonna buy that.
Absolutely.
Lining up day one. Hope you're not one of them, folks.
Suckers.
All right, let's.
I'm sorry. No, I'll call anybody a sucker. I don't care.
That's true. He will.
I will.
Called me one.
When did I call you a sucker, Chase?
We're not friends anymore. Anyway, that'll be all from us, folks. Unless you got something else you want to talk about.
No, I'm good.
We'll be signing out on this Friday night. God.
You beat?
Yeah, I just realized. Anyway.
Like us, share us, do all that shit.
Like us on. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like the videos, please. That'll help us get our name out.
Follow us on Twitter.
Follow us on Instagram. We're trying to figure out like what to really post on both of those. We'll be figuring those out soon, hopefully.
Let us know. Let us know what to do. You tell us what to do.
Yeah. You're our fans. You'll let us know. And there's one other thing. Oh, we're bringing out more content.
Oh yeah, tons. We have
close future. So be on the lookout for that. Mostly be uploaded on our YouTube channel. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, so much for watching and listening. Hope you've had a fantastic night with us. I know we did.
I love you.
I don't.
To my fans.
I don't.
Unless you're a weirdo.
I don't. Anyway, we'll see you all on the next.
Updata, motherfucker.
No.